Friday, December 13th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Very cold Friday morning unfolding for us. There's a look live as I'm cutting this video at Banner Elk during the 5 o'clock hour this morning. 21 degrees there with a very light northeast wind. Dew point very low at 10 degrees. Check out the view from the Appalachian Ski Mountain camera there. You can note the snow guns are fired up, and that's the case at all the resort areas across the region again this morning. And a really nice blanket of snow. I'll show you the ski report coming up here in just a moment. Some very cold air all around the region. Obviously the mountains are quite chilly too. Some teens in a good number of mountain spots, including Montreat and the Avery County site. It's cold up there in the high country and cold down everywhere else across the region as well. Yesterday we hit 44 for a high in Greensboro, up to 50 in Charlotte, 54 in Columbia, 51 in Wilmington. Temperatures overperformed just a bit yesterday afternoon, but it was still a very chilly day overall. And boy, it's cold this morning. Look at all the 20s on the board, even all the way over to Wilmington, 29, 28 degrees in Columbia, 23 in Charlotte, 24 in Raleigh, even some of the normally colder spots getting down toward the upper teens early this morning. Radar, though, very quiet, and still very quiet all across the southeast. But Texas, Oklahoma, notice that rain breaking out. That's the very beginnings of our next storm system. A little bit of wintry precip with this as well, back into parts of New Mexico and Arizona. And again, that's the system that's heading our way. So take a look at what transpires here. We'll be dry around the region here for this Friday, and most of tonight stays dry as well as that system begins to roll our way from the plains and into the Mississippi River Valley. Now, tonight, we see that precipitation rolling on in. And what we'll see occur is very early in the day tomorrow, some of that precipitation, as it initially moves in early tomorrow morning in the mountains and the northern foothills, could be a very, very brief period of some wintry precip. Now, in the northwestern North Carolina mountains, the snow might hold on long enough to be of the accumulating variety, but in the foothills area, it's just a very brief bout of some sleet or a little bit of freezing rain, a few snowflakes, but it just will not last long as the precipitation type will kick over to a soaking rain event, and then we're dry again by Sunday. Rain totals here on the European model about really 8/10 of an inch up the I-85 corridor. The GFS a little bit lighter, indicating about a half inch, even less in some spots. But the bottom line is it's going to be a wet Saturday forecast, and I'll show you some more specific modeling in just a moment. There's your snow moving into the North Carolina mountains, and again, the RPM model is still putting down some accumulating snow there in northwestern North Carolina, and there'll probably be a decent little hit of some snow for a period of time. Could be coming down quite hard in some spots for a period of time Saturday morning. And, well, looks like we're going through this chart again. Now, it's good because I'll show you, I'll pause it here tomorrow morning, I believe. There we go. There you can see that initial shot of some wintry precip as it first moves in the mountains and the northern foothills. But again, then the rain will kind of overwhelm the pattern overall. All right, here's that ski resort information. This is the afternoon report from yesterday. The new data not quite in yet this morning, but the bottom line is you're looking at a lot of powder conditions at all of the ski resort areas that are open. Wolf Ridge actually opening today. Again, that's a report from tomorrow, so Wolf Ridge open as well. Really some pretty good skiing and riding conditions all around the region. All right, so let's dig a little bit deeper into some of the modeling. This is the European upper air chart. Valid this afternoon. There comes our next storm system. Really a couple of pieces here, a couple of pieces of upper level energy. And by the time you get out to Sunday morning, that's what the system looks like as it's swinging on through. And sticking with the European, then I'll show you the Canadian. That's what the European looks like tomorrow as this system is arriving. Rain spreads in. It'll probably be heaviest midday through the afternoon in many spots across the Carolinas, then tapering off pretty quickly. And by the time we get to Sunday, we're in good shape with the dry forecast back with us. Now on the Canadian model, this is what the modeling looks like, and anybody across the Piedmont could see a few sleet pellets as the precip first moves in. But the wintry type of precip will certainly hold on the longest up in the mountains, where there'll be a period of snow and then probably a period of freezing rain. But outside of the mountains, the wintry precip will simply not hold on long enough to be anything of consequence. And you notice, let's see, this will be valid just before lunchtime, and then finally later on into the afternoon tomorrow. It's rain everywhere. That's as soon as early afternoon. Everybody's kicked over pretty much to rain. And there might be a few pockets of colder elevations and colder spots in the mountains that hold on to wintry precip for a good portion of time. But for most of us, very quickly, this kicks over to a rain event. Now, I want to show you a couple charts from down the road. This is way down the road, 228 hours. So this is next Sunday, the 22nd of December on the European model. And then let's go to the GFS, same time frame. More dynamic system moving through, and really it kind of looks like we might ease toward this scenario. This is a very, very cold air mass, and there might be that battle zone between air masses set up somewhere across the southeast here as we get into the days leading up to Christmas and then after Christmas in that time frame. So that could be an interesting setup if for some parts of the southeast, depending on exactly where that boundary winds up setting up shop. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on in terms of where the pattern is heading for late month. Okay, that is it for today's edition of the video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful Friday and a great weekend, and God bless.